This is Radio Entrepreneurs, and we're featuring the success of entrepreneurship. We have another new entrepreneur or first-timer on the show. We love our entrepreneurs on Radio Entrepreneurs. We have Theo of Pirate, and that's it, Pirate.
Pirate with an exclamation
Aye, what is it all about?
So we do radio promotion.
Right.
So record labels, music management companies, individual artists, singer-songwriters, bands of all different shapes and sizes from all around the world hire us to help them get them on the radio. So we're essentially an independent contractor for the music industry.
It's like the movie Pirate Radio. Is that where you got the idea?
It was part of it. We had a focus group to name the company, and Pirate actually lost 5 votes to 4 to Viking. But then I woke up the next morning and told my business partner that we should go with Pirate anyway. So our focus in terms of formats of radio is mostly college radio, community radio, public radio, mostly college-owned stations, a decent amount of NPR affiliated stations too. But we focus mostly on the lower end of the dial, the left side of the dial, whatever you want to call it.
So how did you get into this business?
I went to college at Bentley, now Bentley University. It was Bentley College when I went there for marketing. But I just assumed I would go into a normal business role, not a fun music industry business role. But I started working at the radio station there. They had a very small radio station, but it was a good, small, tight-knit group of people that ran the station. And because it was a small station, it was very hands-on from day one. So I got myself on the executive board from day one and kind of worked my way up and learned how to run a radio station. I eventually became the music director because that sounded like the most fun job at the radio station, because that was the person that talked to all the record promoters and all the independent promoters like myself. And that led to an internship at a local promotion company that's no longer here in Boston, but they used to be. And then that actually led to a college rep position for Sony. So for my last year or two in college, I was the Boston college rep for Sony Music. At the time, Sony Music owned Epic and Columbia Records. Now they also own RCA and a bunch more. So I was promoting all of the Sony artists as they came to Boston and working with local radio stations and local newspapers and stuff like that. I was essentially an intern for them, but kind of like a local street team position. So that was really my first official foot in the door.
And what's your revenue model?
Bands pay us a weekly rate up front for the service. So they basically pay us, it depends on the campaign, but an average typical college radio campaign without too many bells and whistles added is usually about $300 a week. And then from there we can obviously add services, add formats, go a little broader. And a typical campaign usually lasts about 2 months. Some are shorter, some are longer, just depending on the campaign. And we are we're a small shop and we're a very customizable shop. So usually, if a band calls me and says, "What do you do?" I usually say, "Hold on, send me your record or at least your demo, whatever you have that I can listen to. Let me listen to it. Let me tell you if it's something we can even work with. And then I'll hit you back with a customized plan showing you what we can do for you." We don't really have a set rate card. It's more, a customizable approach, and because it works for us that way. And we essentially started the company to work records that we like and work with artists that we like and labels that we like. And we're kind of picky on what we bring in. We don't just work every record that's sent to us. We actually probably decline more than we accept.
I would think that Boston would be, and Massachusetts, a good market for you because there's 1,000 colleges and 1 million college students.
Right. And, there's a new Berkeley band popping up every 10 minutes.
Right.
So just from Berkeley musicians alone, there's a constant flow of new bands.
Would you keep an office over at Berkeley?
We were pretty close when we were in Central Square. We had Berkeley students interning for us much more because they could just come straight up Mass Ave to the office, and it was pretty quick. But yeah, we have good contacts at Berkeley, and I also teach part-time at Bay State, which is right down the street from Berkeley. So
right.
I have a lot of friends over there, and there's a lot of really good independent venues in Boston still. So any night of the week you can go out and find some new up-and-coming bands.